Hey everyone, Rico here. So this is going to be the first video I think we're going to upload to the YouTube universe. And there might be more, there may not be more, I don't know. I need to make some upgrades to this computer in regards to data. But anyways, this is the When We Were Young episode that we released a few weeks ago. And I just so happened to record it. I wanted to try something different. And it didn't come out too bad, so I've been sitting on it thinking about whether or not I wanted to put it on YouTube. So here it is. But before we get into the video episode, I forgot to mention while recording this episode about this festival. I wanted to put this out there. So this is for any of you that are in a relationship and it's still a young relationship, and you have an opportunity to purchase tickets like these. In my eyes, is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Buy them for yourself. Don't let your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever convince you to take them out of your shopping cart because they were going to buy it for you for your birthday, so you'd have an awesome birthday weekend to go and listen to all the bands you grew up listening to. I was in that situation. I had 2 VIP tickets in my cart ready to go, and everybody knows it's out there. It was really hard getting in to get tickets, and I was one of the lucky people that did. And needless to say, I got talked out of buying those tickets, and now I will not be going to that concert. So let that be a lesson to you out there. Unless they're your wife or your husband or whatever, buy them yourself. Well, without further ado, here's Things Will Be Different, the When We Were Young video episode. Later. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 7 of Things Will Be Different. And we switched some gears a little bit. We decided to cover the When We Were Young Fest that's taken place in Las Vegas. And it's also known as the Gathering of the Elders, which would be my age group, not Janey's. And to go on with the introductions, we are joined here with the one and only Janey. Say hi to everyone.
And you're not that much older than me. Shut up.
Yes, I am. Let's not debate that first. Let's just go right along with it. Age is nothing but a number. I don't know if you caught that, but I did guns on. Yeah, never mind. But to keep going with When We Were Young, we have a really, really good lineup. It's just amazing. So we have My Chemical Romance, Paramore, Bring Me Here the Horizon, A Day to Remember, Avril Lavigne, Bright Eyes, Jimmy Eat World, all headlining. And then we have even more amazing bands on this lineup. And I'm going to name the ones that I give a fuck about. You can go ahead and just tell me which ones you care about, because I think what's going to make this episode good is a lot of the stuff that you listen to, I didn't. And a lot of the stuff I listened to, you kind of did, but not really, but you kind of do. I don't know, but we'll go forward from there. So we have AFI, The Used, Alkaline Trio, Dance Gavin Dance, Census Fail, Silverstein, Thursday, Story of the Year, The Starting Line. Those are actually the ones that I actually really give a fuck about. And goddamn, this message.
No.
Did you hear that? Oh, okay. I got 2 messages and I hear it in my headphones. But anyways, moving on. What bands from this lineup are you excited to? Well, obviously we're not going to be able to see it, and we'll dig more into that towards the end. But which bands are you excited about?
I was a huge fan, am still a huge fan, let's be clear, of A Day to Remember, Sleeping with Sirens. AFI was probably the first one I ever got into. Mayday Parade is to this day my favorite band. Ayo, wearing the shirt. Neck Deep I got into later. They're really good. The Taking Back Sunday, of course. The Used, of course. I mean,
obviously, I can't believe
yeah, right.
Didn't
I
mention
think
them.
you mentioned Taking Back Sunday at least. But I Prevail is one I also got into later. Seosin, Paramore, you know.
Okay. So I think we've learned our lesson. If for those of you that don't know, this is take two. I really fucked up the first take. It was an experiment that went wrong, and we're here again. But I think we had some time to reflect, and we know how to tweak and move our conversation into a better, more brighter pace than
You mean
the
all
other
the
time.
ad-libbing
So,
last time wasn't good content?
I mean, it was, but most of it took a dark turn. So, we're gonna try to steer clear from that, and we're gonna spice it up. And by spice it up, I mean I texted you earlier and I said, "Hey, let's do this instead. Let's do our top 10 artists that are on this lineup, and then we'll do our top 10 songs." Now, for me, I don't think my top 10 artist is going to match my top 10 songs. Did you have that
I
same issue?
have like 15 artists on here, and the songs I'm just gonna name off the top of my head.
Okay, so
I
we're going to
know.
narrow it down to 10
I'm gonna pick and choose what feels good
because
at
that's
the
what I
moment.
did. Okay, all right. So we're gonna wing it then for this part. Well, at least you're gonna wing it because I wrote mine down
So
in
we
like
roll
two
reverse
seconds,
this time. You're more prepared than I am.
pretty much. But I just did it right before I sent you the message. But we'll go ahead and let you go first with your top 10,
Would.
and then I'll do my top 10 artists, and then we'll transition into the
Sounds good.
songs.
I'd say top 10 artists from the lineup. I know Paris, spelled Pvris, is new. I love them. I got to go to I think their first Warp Tour, I think it was, which was also one of my last Warp Tours. But they were amazing in concert. I love them. And they've only gotten better, honestly. Taking Back Sunday is in my top 10. I love them. Sleeping with Sirens, Seosin, Mayday Parade, AFI, Paramore, Day to Remember. I Prevail is another one. It's got to make that top 10. I'm sorry. I know that they're not as deep into this as a lot of the other bands were because they've had more years, but I still love them. And then Neck Deep will be my 10th.
Okay. Okay. So if you could put numbers to them, what would be numbers 1 through 10?
Number one's Mayday Parade. 2 is A Day to Remember.
Okay.
3 is Paramore. 4 is Sleeping with Sirens. 5 is Paris. 6 is Taking Back Sunday. 7 is Neck Deep. 8 is AFI. Just because I'll always love them. I'll do 9 is I Prevail. Fudge 6 was number 10. Did I not say Paramore? I feel like an ass.
I don't know. That should have wrote them down,
Okay,
Janey.
well, there we are. 9 or 10. It's fine.
All right. Okay. So, any particular reason why those fell in the numbers that you gave?
I'd say relevance to what I still listen to, what my playlists are still made of. Mayday Parade is still producing and making music that I like. They're on my level still. They are my number one. Paramore, I still love, but I don't think they're making as much music. I don't think they're making music right now anyway. But I still listen to them. They're, of course, still pretty high up on my playlist. A Day to Remember, I'd go to concerts right now if I could. I love A Day to Remember. That's why they're like so high on the list. I think anything that's lower on my top 10 is only based on the number of songs that's probably on my Spotify, honestly. But they're all of them are knee deep in different playlists, depending on the mood.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to go onto my list, and Starting at number one, I have Alkaline Trio. Obviously, I'm kind of obsessed with them, and they're probably one of the only bands that have stayed very consistent since I started listening to them through high school. So I still jam out to them even to this day. Even their new stuff, their old stuff, new stuff, they're still relevant in my world. Number two, obviously, is going to be Dance Gavin Dance. They still stay relevant no matter how many singers they go through. They're still putting out bangers, and they're just great. Number three, The Used. That's like they're still a band that I jam out to, and they have a few albums that I still listen to. Not much of their newer stuff, but definitely their old stuff I still get down to, and they were pretty relevant in my like super emo years when I was in high school. Taking Back Sunday takes number four. They were my first concert ever that I went to when I was 16, and they will always be like in the top five of any band that I really like because of that. My first experience going to like a big name concert, and a lot of their songs pulled on my heartstrings, and they still do to this day. And they came out with a lot of albums that had bangers on every single one of them. So that's why I chose Taking Back Sunday. Number five of my list, Senses Fail. They are just amazing. They had a lot of albums for me that just were good. And I still, like I said, to this day, I still jam out to them. That's why these are still on my list. My Chemical Romance fell to number six, only because I really only liked like two of their albums, but those two albums are really good.
Weren't you ready to persecute me yesterday for saying I wasn't like a huge MCR fan?
I'm still a huge MCR fan. Don't get it twisted. I just only really like two of their albums. There's a difference. I still listen to them. I even have their records on, vinyl, obviously. But yes, I love MCR, but I just really like two of their albums that I still listen to. Number seven, The Starting Line was number seven on my list. I really like there's two albums that I really liked that they came out with, and I still listen to them, and they're still great. But the singer transitioned and switched gears with his musical talents and created a new-ish band called Vacationer, who is amazing. I absolutely love listening to him, but Starting Line is sitting at number seven. Thursday is number eight. They have three albums that I really like that, again, I still listen to them. I don't know if you've caught on to the theme, but a lot of these people on my list are still relevant in my present life. Number nine is Silverstein. They were discovered back in my super emo years when I was listening to The Used. They have two albums that I really like. They're self-titled. I can't remember the other one. I just remember there's a train on the cover art. But that one was really good. And last but not least, AFI. Those guys are just the OGs of OGs, and they've come out with a lot of bangers. And if they're not in your top 10, yeah, I got nothing to say to you, bro. But that was my top 10 for the When We Were Young lineup. We can now. Are you prepared to discuss your top 10 songs?
I just finished.
All right, let's go ahead and knock this out.
Oh, shit. Your condescending tone and walk right out the door, little mister.
I can't. I'm trapped right now. Okay. Maybe after this podcast is done recording, then I'll see myself out of my own master bedroom.
All right, top 10 songs. Rating the songs is going to be so much harder. Number one, it's going to be Mayday Parade's. It's the song is going to be Stay, because I still listen to it a lot when I'm upset, when I want to be in my feels. This is a song that'll trigger the feels real hard. Number two is going to be Monument by A Day to Remember, because it's one of those ones where you
Mm-hmm.
look back and you're like, man, I did a lot of things for other people, like made a lot of decisions that included myself, but to make other people happy. So that one is a big
Yeah.
one I still listen to. 3 is going to be by Paris. It's called Holy. And it's one of those things where people, like, they hide behind religion to justify their crappy actions towards other people. And I really like
Yeah.
how she just eviscerates those people. Because I grew up in a Midwest town that was full of them, just full of people that would
Yeah.
use religion as a reason they could tear you apart. Number 4 is going to be In Bloom by Neck Deep. I love that song. I really like the way it's got a weird, different start to it. Musically, it's just amazing, and I'll listen to it any day of the week. 5 is going to be Kick Me by Sleeping with Sirens, because it's what I listen to when I'm angry and I want to get when I want
All
to
right.
get pumped up and I want to be mad and I just want to raise my middle finger to everybody. That's what I listen to.
Oh, okay. That's okay. So now I know what to look for if I catch you in your house listening to that song.
Yes,
I
if you come
know
over
just
and the
to
Echo
stay
is
away.
playing Kick Me, I mean, still come inside, but maybe make me a drink first.
Okay. All right. Noted.
6,
Noted.
we're going to do Scars by I Prevail. It's a really good song.
Okay.
It talks a lot about scars, obviously. Everybody's got them. Everybody's learned to either work past them or cope with having them in their own way. Scars, whether they're mental, whether they're physical. And I just really jam with that premise. 7, Misery Business by Paramore. It was on their Riot
Okay.
album. It was one of their most popular songs for sure. And I hated a lot of the females in my middle and high school. There were some issues. And while this song didn't age the best because of we're taught as women to just shit on each other. Absolutely. Like my mom told me when I was younger to not trust any other girl because they're always not looking out for you. And that's something I've worked past and I've gotten past, but the song is still it's still a banger. Like I understand that, but I've internalized that, but at the same time, I'm still gonna scream it at the top of my lungs. Exactly.
Like, fuck you, bitches. Oh, sorry, Mom. Sorry, Janey's mom, if you're listening. I use a lot of profanity.
My mom does not care.
Okay. Well, I just want to throw out apologies in advance.
8 is going to be Not Alone by Seosin. It's a really smooth jam.
Okay.
It's another In Your Feels song. I mean, we're talking about the
newer singer Seosin.
We're not getting into this yet.
Just saying, Anthony Green was better, but
we're not going to poop
that's
on
just
the
me.
Other singer that I still did not look up the name of, so that you would stop calling him not Anthony Green. I'm really sorry, other singer. If you deserve that, karma.
Oh, yes, I did.
But I love this song.
That was a good laugh.
And I still listen to it, especially when I'm in my feels. I know that I'm saying that a lot of these songs are going to be put you in your feels and the big sad hit you real hard, but at the same time, we're talking about the When You Were Young test, the elder emos. When were we not in our feels? It's probably a better question.
I think we're always in our feels. We just learned how to not mask it, but taper it to where, like, hey, we're a grown ass adult now. Like, we got alcohol to solve the problems. I
don't know if it solves.
No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
But it helps.
Yes, enhance.
It's such a pretty word. So 9 is going to be
I throw those out there sometimes.
9 is going to be Miss Murder by AFI, another one of their super popular songs. I love it. Honestly, the music is beautiful, and his voice is beautiful. I just love the direction of the song, and I still listen to it. I actually got to go to an AFI concert. It was AFI and Rise Against, and it was bomb. Excuse you.
AFI cool, Rise Against. I will...
Okay, all right. I'm going to stab you.
Okay, sorry.
Number 10.
Number 10.
Taking Back Sunday, Make Damn Sure. Is where I'm going to go with Taking Back Sunday.
So I'm a little insulted that you put them as number 10. Yes, you're going to catch grief from me.
10.
You're going to catch grief from me because, yeah, but they're number 10? Number 10? Numero 10? For real? God, okay. You know what? There were some bands on that list that probably deserve number 10, and you put TBS.
Okay, excuse you.
Adios mio, I will.
This is my list. You may go through your list.
Taking Back Sunday, if you're listening right now.
Yes, because Taking Back Sunday is going to give this episode in particular a listen.
Yep. Taking Back Sunday, you were number 4 on my list. I want you to know that right now.
They're still on my list. Do you know how many bands are at this thing?
Not number 10.
All right.
Okay, let's just throw that out there.
Baby, it's your turn.
Okay. Okay, it's Big Baby's turn. So, number 1 on my list is Death of a Strawberry by Dance Gavin Dance. It's a feel-good song, and that whole album, actually, Instant Gratification, is one of my favorite albums, because I think for me, a lot of those songs are feel-good songs, especially Death of a Strawberry. It talks about, like being, like, a relationship where it's, like, cool, like, hey, just for the day we'll pretend I'm made of money. I'll be your sugar daddy. Like, all that stuff's cool, man. Like, it's cool shit to vibe to. Number 2 for me is Alkaline Trio. Even though they were number 1 on my band's list, they're number 2 on my songs list. Mainly because I've overly obsessed, like, listening to Death of a Strawberry and that whole album, Instant Gratification. But Stupid Kid will be number 2 on my list because when I first discovered Alkaline Trio, this was, and again, I'm dating myself, so a lot of you elders out there listening, when my parents had cable, it was a set-top box, right? We didn't have Netflix. We didn't have any of that shit back in the day. We had pay-per-view and whatever cable package you paid for. And my parents had, like, some premium bullshit. Or it may have been a free trial. I don't know. But there was, like, an on-demand station on this cable box. And punk rock was a selection on there. And I dove deep into that channel. And Alkaline Trio came up. And their video, Stupid Kid, was on there. And I was able to on-demand that song on repeat. Because it was just on the playlist. And absolutely fell in love with Alkaline Trio. Went down a rabbit hole of listening to them. And they still speak to my soul now today. Number 3 is going to be On My Own by The Used. It's just when you're in your feel song. Really good. Check it out. You'll see why I was in my feels if you read the lyrics. And they were number 3 on my band's list, which is number 3 on my songs list. And number 4, you want to take a guess on who number 4 is?
Taking Back Sunday.
You're goddamn right. It's Taking Back Sunday, and it's Ghost Man on 3rd. Again, another song of me being in my feels. So just read the lyrics. I'm going to play the samples of the songs in between how we're listing these. So you'll get a little sample of the songs we're talking about. Number 5 is Rum is for Drinking, Not for Burning. You know who that is?
We literally listened to, like, all of these yesterday.
Yep. But do you know who it is?
You're gonna make me remember yesterday.
Senses Fail.
I'm so tired.
Wow, 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 wow. Okay, anyways, moving on. Again, The set-top box cable, Census Fail, was also on there. Fell in love with them. I still love them till this day. They still fucking rock it.
We had one of those.
So we're gonna move on to
at my dad's house. Mm-hmm.
A set-top box. Those things are amazing.
It was the
or
first
were amazing.
time I'd ever experienced cable was when I went to my dad's house, and it was there, and I was like, I don't know what to do with this.
Well, technology has improved. We no longer have set-top boxes. We have set app selections. That should be a thing.
Oh my god. All right, continue with your list.
Sass. Okay, sorry. Number 6 is Bedroom Talk by The Starting Line. Again, bangers, and this one's a little raunchy. By raunchy, I mean, he says, I'm going to tear that ass up like we just got married, and you're all mine now. Pretty cool song. I'll play the clip so you can see how great it is. Moving to number 7 is The Ghost of You by My Chemical Romance. Absolutely love the music video. Love the song in itself. I think the music video takes place back in like World War II. They're wearing the uniforms. They're singing at a USO. It's pretty cool because I'm in the military, but it's just that song is just amazing. Anyways, to which MCR was number 6 on my list for bands. Now they're number 7 on my list for songs. Number 8 is War All the Time by Thursday. I am just going to say that. Listen to the song, read the lyrics, and you'll see why. That shit's pretty deep. Number 9, Bleeds No More by Silverstein. This will go back to my super teenager emo days. There, I could call it that. My super teenager emo days, because I'm not as emo as I was in my teenager days. But Silverstein, that album, I think it was their self-titled album with the robot holding a heart in its hand. They, all those lyrics spoke to my emo heart as a teenager, and I fell in love with them. And last but not least, number 10, who is also number 10 on my list, is AFI. And their song is Silver and Cold. That song is a straight...
It's fire.
Banger.
Yeah. Can confirm.
And I don't need to say any more or explain any more. AFI is just great. And Silver and Cold is just a straight up banger. Like, you cannot go wrong with that song at all. Even if you're dipping your toes into the AFI realm and you have no idea like who they are today, which is kind of weird, just go ahead and give that song a try, because I guarantee you it will definitely turn you on to them for sure.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
I definitely agree. I love that song too. It just wasn't one of the ones that's usually at the top of my head when I think of AFI, but it's absolute fire.
Oh yes. All right, so we've talked about this. We've talked about our list and why they were on our list. I know you have some questions that you would like to ask. And the reason why I'm transitioning forward to these questions is because when I insert the clips and all that stuff, it's going to expand our recording time out a little bit more. And that'll bring us closer to an hour. But I did remember one of your questions, and so I wrote down some of the answers that I think.
A question that I didn't ask yesterday that I would like to ask today too. And
okay.
I think it's going to be an easy one because there's only a couple of bands we didn't know on there. Anyway. So you want me to start from the top?
Go for it.
All right.
Absolutely.
What are some bands that you think should be a part of this lineup, whether they're together or not?
Oh, man. I wrote down a few. Now I'm going to explain all of them. Newfound Glory. Like, why... And whoever put this festival together, kudos to you for it. I'm not hating on you whatsoever. It's a great lineup. But why on God's green earth would you not have Newfound Glory on this fucking lineup? Like, that is that is a slap in the face of every elder humanly possible. And if you disagree with me, you should probably get your fucking head checked, because New Found Glory put out straight bangers all the time. All the time. Even their cover albums were
my
bangers.
thing with New Found Glory. I find it super funny that New Found Glory isn't on this list when they were, I feel like, as popular as Paramore was back in the day. You know? Okay.
Yes.
I'm like, tell me I'm not taking a stretch here.
A lot of these. No, you're not. But a lot of the bands that I have on here like anger me because I don't understand the logic behind it. But again, whoever put this lineup together, I'm not hating on you. I'm just hating the fact that you didn't put these guys on there. Number 2, Under Oath. Yeah. Like, do I really need to go like and just explain why? I just need to say their name. Under Oath. They were as much a part of this genre of music that are in the lineup than, I'm sorry, I'm going to say this, and Paramore was. Okay. You mentioned them earlier. And so I was like, oh, how much of an impact did Paramore have on my life? Not very much, but Under Oath did. Chiodas. I mean, come on. I'm sure Craig Owens would have loved to reunite with the boys and play a 3-day festival for some change. You know what I mean? Like, Chiodas was definitely a part of this genre as well, which I still don't understand why they weren't on there. More relevant than, I'm going to say it, and it's going to make you mad.
Okay, here's the thing, though, that you need to keep in mind when we're talking about, like, who should be on this list or who shouldn't be on this list, is that we come from severely different backgrounds and different mindsets. You know, one, me being a woman, you being a man. And so I think it has a lot to do with it. For me, seeing somebody like Hayley Williams up there being able to like kick somebody out of a crowd for sexually assaulting somebody, and that she could see, she was seeing it happen. It was a big moment, especially for like.
Okay, hold on. Time out. Let's get back on track,
I love
because
Paramore so much.
But I know, but we don't need to go down this rabbit hole of like men, women. There's been plenty of male singers that have done the same thing.
But, like me seeing it happen, like seeing a woman in charge and things like that. That's one of the reasons I love Paramore so much.
She's the front lady of the band. Like, if we can just throw out anything, it would be because she was relevant in an era of music, and she was a female singer and fucking crushed it. Yes. Got it. But I don't think sex has anything to do with it, though.
Okay. I mean,
to be honest,
that's your personal opinion.
They just didn't hit me as hard as these other bands. I guarantee you there's a lot of dudes out there that really love Paramore.
No, I'm not. I'm not doubting that at all.
That one.
That's not where I was trying to come from, but yeah. Okay. Continue.
All right. Chiodas needs to be on there. They would probably steal the show, which I can understand why they weren't on this, but Blink-182. But like the original Blink-182. Mark, Tom, and Travis. Maybe Matt Skiba on there just for continuity's sake, but I don't understand why Blink wasn't on this lineup. Probably because they would be the primary reason why people would go if Tom DeLonge got back in the band for this particular reason.
Yeah, Blink is a big one too.
Sum 41.
You stole that from me, first of all.
Sum 41.
I mentioned them yesterday.
I'm wearing their shirt. I mentioned
them yesterday. You stole
I'm wearing their shirt. I am wearing their shirt. Do you have a Sum 41 t-shirt?
I'm just not currently wearing
it. Phoenix TX is my next one. Their self-titled and Lechuza were bangers, and again, a part of this era.
You're
not sure why they weren't invited. I have no idea
who that is.
Moving on. The Early November. Why wasn't the Early November on this lineup is beyond me. Just beyond me. They were if not the most emo of emo, because a lot of their shit was sad, very sad. Some of their stuff was happy, but a lot of their stuff was deep, and they also plucked at your heartstrings. And they should have been on this lineup and or invited. Ace Enders is a very talented man, and they should have been given a spot on this lineup. But that's all the list that I have for me. What about you? I stole some 41. I'm sorry.
See, that's all I wanted. An apology.
and I apologize. Okay, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention him if I'm wearing their shirt.
So Sum 41 was on my list.
I'm such a groupie.
Of Mice and Men, they should be on this list.
Oh, I did not think of that. Right? Absolutely, they should be on that. Damn, you picked out a banger on that one. I've seen them live too. They're so great live.
Remiss here. All right. I also think okay. You can disagree with this one. That's fine. I don't care. Yellow Card should be on this list.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you. And fuck me for not even thinking of it.
I know that the lead singer,
Ocean Avenue
went solo. And he is really good in concert. I actually saw him. He opened for. He was one of the openers for Mayday Parade when I saw Mayday Parade in Seattle. He was amazing. He also played Ocean Avenue. So I got to, it made my heart so happy. I did.
I would have cried if I heard that live.
I'm not even ashamed to say crocodile tears, man.
I believe it. I believe it.
And yeah, so he should be on here, even if it's just the lead singer. He was wonderful. He's doing great things solo. He's on my Spotify right now. And I know Panic is really just Brendan Urie now, but I think he was part of this era. He was a part of all of this. Like, no matter what, I know he wasn't real scream. He was more pop punk alternative. I still think he belongs on this list. Even though his music's taken more of a pop turn. Like, I get that, but
well, yeah, but one of their first albums was I Write Sins Not Tragedies. That was a full band. Like, that wasn't just him flying solo like he is, or just doing the producing and doing his own instrumentals like he's doing now. That was a full-fledged band. So, yeah, I agree with you on that one. Panic definitely should have been on there.
Fall Out Boy should have been on here.
Oh, bro. Damn, you're coming out with bangers.
They're just, they're so deep into it. They're like, I don't know, if this was a tree, they're part of the freaking root system.
Yeah. Damn,
and
that was a good one.
If we're talking about whiny emo music, whiny sad emo music, Secondhand Serenade takes the cake for whiny sad boy emo music. And
not for me, bro.
For you. That's
you
fine.
Can have that one.
I don't listen to their stuff anymore, unless I'm reading. But that's a whole other can of worms. Simple Plan should be on this list as well.
Damn. Yep.
That's I cried like a baby. I caught one of the last Warped Tour shows in Ventura, California. Hey.
Keep rubbing it in my face. You know where I was the last Warped Tour show?
Yeah, you were.
I think I was in Afghanistan when I... This is some horse shit. I still... Thanks, Army.
And then the last one on this list for me is All Time Low. Yeah, and I know you're not huge fans of them. You can have that one too. But they were... Definitely not. I had... My brothers looked like they could have been All Time Low stunt doubles in high school. Like... yeah, like...
Oh, really?
And they were at the last Warped Tour also. And Jack Bearcat, the number of women that I had to catch because he challenged the crowd and security. He was like, if one of you can get on this stage, I'll kiss you. And I was in the third row from the front of the stage.
Oh, wow.
The number of women I caught from smacking their heads on cement is in the double digits.
Oh, my God. Yeah. That's some risky business when a singer
Risky
does
business.
that.
He's a guitarist, by the way.
Very. All right. Well, see, that's how much I give a fuck about him. So clearly.
Do we want to go to the next question?
Yes, please.
Do any of the bands or songs that are on this list maybe spark a memory for you?
I'll let you answer that one first. I need to think about this one.
So I'm actually going... No,
I'm putting you on
the
spot.
I have a prepared answer, so you're good. But it's actually going to be the Used in Taking Back Sunday for me. And I know you were angry with me and where I put them on the list, but just hear me out.
But they're a song that sparks a memory.
I said band or song.
They're number 10.
So if you were using these pretty things on the side
tomato
of your head, then you would know that I said band or song. Okay? All right. So
yeah, whatever.
The memory they spark for me is going to be a book. So a lot of the times I correlate music to what I'm reading. I don't listen to audiobooks because I need to listen to music to read. And I was reading a book called The Host by Stephenie Meyer. Yes, before everybody says it, Stephenie Meyer wrote Twilight. She also wrote The Host. And it was a much better premise. Even though I am a Twilight fan, I read the books. And by the way, if I listen to Paramore's Decode, I think immediately of the Twilight books. But
well, yeah,
it was that whole album. That soundtrack album was bangers. Anyway, but I think of them when I think of The Host because my brother let me borrow his PSP, and on his PSP was downloaded the Used and Taking Back Sunday albums, and I was the only way I had to listen to music when I went to school, so I'd like put my headphones in and I'd read my book, and that entire discography that they had on the PSP, it just automatically makes me think of the book The Host. So.
Awesome. I have no idea what The Host is. What's The Host about?
The Host is a really cool premise. It's like, I want to say sci-fi, because it's like alien-esque, right? These things came from outer space, and they don't really have a corporeal body. It's like this lucid blob type thing, and they make a little incision behind your ear, and then they take over your consciousness. And so you're just pushed to the back. And the host is pushed to the front. And their whole society it's a utopian society. Nobody pays for anything. Everybody has a specific job. There is no concept of money because everybody instinctually takes what they need and doesn't take anything more or less. So they create this utopian society across Earth by taking over people's bodies, and there's a resistance, and the resistance are humans that have carved out little holes for themselves in the world, hiding from the hosts. So it's like this whole thing.
Sounds like a dope-ass movie.
I really wish they would have made it into a movie. There was a trailer going around. Actually, they thought about making this into a movie, and then they didn't finish it. It would have been so good.
That sounds really good. It sounds really good. All right. Well, that was a fascinating detail about that book. I would watch it if it was a movie, not read it because I don't read. Because
everybody's got different things they like.
That way.
I'm a reader. You're not. That's fair.
Yeah, you're right. So I guess one song that really
oh my god, I lied.
Brings back memories.
Did make it into a movie. Did I never watch it?
What? When did it come out?
It's called The Host.
Let me see. My phone.
American romantic sci-fi thriller. Yeah, that's it. Jesus, how did I not know this? I'm really upset. I want to watch it now.
Oh yeah, me too. But wait a second. Oh, okay, never mind. I thought I had my wife in there.
Which one?
I was wrong. I can't remember her name, but she comes out in like the... Oh, what's those movies? I can't even... Deterrence? Divergence?
Jennifer Lawrence?
Yeah, that girl. She wasn't in those movies.
Wasn't she? Jennifer Lawrence was the lead, wasn't she?
No.
Divergent series.
It was
Shailene Woodley.
Right. Yeah, that's my wife. If you're never gonna watch the Shailene Woodley, but if you don't know
catch
this,
these kids.
You're my wife. Yes, she's probably like married with like 18 kids, but you're still my wife. But I gotta watch that movie. That looks really good. Just by the way you sold it or spoke about it, I figured you sold it, but
we should
I'm gonna
have
watch it now. Okay. Yes, and then we'll do Scream this time.
Thank you.
Because VHS was clearly this was actually a really good one.
It was just weird.
It was just
gruesome in all ways.
Okay,
sorry,
we got sidetracked.
So what is a band or a song that maybe sparks a memory for you?
I'm gonna say Alkaline Trio, because a lot of their songs were in my head or in my ears when I was going through my shit. So like, if that was like music or anything that I was feeling, that vibe, it was always Alkaline Trio. There's a lot of songs on there. Well, i.e. Stupid Kid, just their lyrics. Like, for example, Stupid Kid, remember when I said, I love you, well, forget it, I take it back. I was just a stupid kid back then. I take back every word that I said. That right there, come on. Like, it's fucking glorious. And then there's some other sadder songs on there that really pulled at my heartstrings, and I'm like looking to the left and the right because I don't want to make direct eye contact with the camera because I'm getting uncomfortable talking about my feelings because me is man. But yes, Alkaline Trio and a lot of their songs on any one of their albums, it would always bring back memories for me.
We stand an emotionally competent man up in this bitch now. It is 2022.
Try not to choke on my water.
All right. I just realized I'm not wearing my glasses.
So you're doing a whole lot of squinting.
What's a song that still hits you in the big sad? I guess you just answered that. Alkaline Trio still gets you in that big sad moment.
Yes. But present me, it's always going to be Bill Murray. But he's not on this list, it's honestly shouldn't be on this list, but Bill Murray's my new shit right now, so I will always cry to his music.
Being honest, I feel like Bill Murray probably belongs on this list a little bit more than the Ready Set does, but I'm not judging.
I just think the brand newness of Bill Murray.
I mean, Nessa Barrett's.
You know what I mean?
And she's on this list.
Oh, I don't know who that broad is, but for me, you're also my wife. Just so you know.
What are you going to propose to on this podcast?
But you shouldn't be on this lineup. I'm going to tag everybody I talk about on here. I want them to see that I love them, especially Nessa Barrett.
To all the people he's proposed to.
And Miss Woodley.
On this podcast.
I didn't propose. I said they were my wife. There's no proposals. It's already established.
All right.
Okay. What about you? Are we ready to do that? I'm sorry, you said her name and I blanked.
I think Seo Sen's Not Alone, that still hits me so hard in the feels.
Not Anthony
and
Green.
Of Mice and Men, I know they're not on the list, But we talked about them, and they hit me in the feels pretty hard too. They've got a couple real slow ones that, you know, rip me apart limb from limb. But that's fine. That's what they're supposed to do.
But yeah, not the Anthony Green Say Yo Sin, but I get you. My Cement's pretty cool.
I'm really, really sorry. The other
But
singer of
it's not Anthony
Say Yo
Green.
Sin that I still haven't looked up, and I'm a terrible person.
The other singer of Say Yo Sin, you're good. You're fantastic. I love Anthony Green more. Sorry. Is that better? Did I do a good job with fixing myself?
Cove.
Or was that Cove. Like a backhanded apology?
Cove Reber, I love you.
Cove Reber, you're no Anthony Green, but you do good things.
All right, moving on. What are some bands on this list that you maybe didn't know, but know now?
None of them. The ones that I listed and the ones that I talked about are the only ones that are relevant to me. The other ones, like I told you earlier before we started, really? I don't give a shit about. Actually, I Prevail is one of them that has been coming up a lot more on my my playlists. So I'll say that. I'll say one of them. I Prevail. Because they got Bow Down. Was that the song we talked about the other day?
Drown?
Get on your knees and bow. No, get on your knees and bow down. That one, it's on my gym playlist. So yes, okay, I will entertain this. I Prevail. You guys are in my present day shenanigans, but not on my teenage years.
I will say that there are a few on here that I didn't know, but when I started listening to some of these bands on Spotify and going through, they popped up, like some of the ones that I didn't previously listen to that are maybe newer. I am going to say his name wrong. It's JXDN, but his real name's Jaden. I don't know if you still say it Jaden or not.
JXDN. It's a JXDN.
Anyway, I actually started listening to his song Driver's License like a couple months ago, and I didn't know that he was going to be on this lineup. He is newer, of course. I didn't know who he was previously. I do like his music. Nessa Barrett, I didn't know who she was. Her song La Di Da popped up on my Spotify.
Wifey.
And she is very good. There is one more.
JXDN, I'm sorry, bro. I don't. Driver's License.
Oh, Royal and the Serpent.
Sorry.
Royal and the Serpent. They had a really popular song on TikTok. Did not know that was this band. They're really good. And I now listen to them more.
Never heard of them.
So I got a couple of...
That's pretty cool.
Couple of new bands to listen to for sure. Also, you showed me Dayseeker. I'm surprised you didn't bring them up on...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Hurtwave. But they're not in the era of what we
were talking about.
If we're doing if we're talking about when we were young, obviously the name of the tour or the fest, it speaks for itself, which I don't understand why they put my wife on there, but I just think like Dayseeker, Hurtwave, all the newer bands that are coming out, there's a separate tour for them.
I probably should have put Pierce the Veil on my list instead of Paris, because I did listen to them from 15 on.
Wasn't Pierce the Veil, what's his name's old band? Racky?
Ken? Who?
Roy Racky? What? The singer from Falling in Reverse. He wasn't on Pierce the Veil? Are you sure?
I'll look it up for you if it'll make you feel better. Okay.
Yes, please. Okay, yeah, no. Who was his other band? The singer from Falling in Reverse.
His other band? Oh, Escape the Fate.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Escape the Fate should have been on this list.
Yeah. Well, I think Falling in Reverse probably should have been on there more than Escape the Fate. Falling in Reverse is
more like pop punk.
They're more like dark. Not whoa. Falling in Reverse is not pop punk.
Newer...
First of all, They're
my
post
bad.
hardcore.
Post hardcore. Does that make you
If you think of pop
feel
punk,
really good about yourself?
no. Well, no. If you think of pop punk,
All
that's Blink
right, yeah, all
182.
right.
That's Sum
I
41.
see your point.
That's
I see your point.
there you go.
But yeah, Pierce the Veil probably
But
should
yeah,
have been on my list because I was introduced to them by a cousin I no longer talk to. You know, many people come and go from your life, but I feel like most humans that have come and go from my life have dropped music in my lap. So like, she dropped Pierce the Veil in my lap, and another ex friend dropped Neck Deep in my lap. You know, like people come and go, but music stays.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's always gonna stay. Music is always gonna be the number one thing that's attached to your heart and your mind, 24/7. Everybody has a walking theme song for every action that they do in their lives.
Oh
So
man.
music is your only
All
friend,
right.
I guess.
We're getting real. I don't think the emo went anywhere. I think it's still here.
Yeah. Do you have any other questions?
I think that's all my questions. But thanks for having me on.
And yeah, and perfect timing. We're at 54 minutes. And once I throw everything in there, the song samples and all that stuff, I think we'll be good at an hour or a little over an hour. So I still have to do a little intro. But I think other than that, hey, we're good. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Things Will Be Different. And we just did the When We Were Young Fest. This is episode number 7. So keep looking forward to us switching it up. We're still trying to focus on improving ourselves as humans and all that other good stuff. So we'll be bringing people on this podcast that are successful or have lessons learned in life. But yet we're still going to keep doing fun things like this because you can't be serious all the time. So here we are, When We Were Young Fest. Janey, thank you so much for joining us. We're probably going to have you back on this show again because I like talking shit to you.
It was a pleasure. I hope you invite me on again, and have a great night. Bye.